Hey everybody, this is module number 3. Again, we are doing rest and we're in module number 3, and I ended the last one talking about intermittent fasting and how wonderful it can be and helpful it can be for people. It's a good way to fast, and most of the time you're sleeping, so you're not even noticing that you're not eating. If you stop eating at 7 o'clock at night and you don't eat again till 7 in the morning, that's a good 12 hours of not eating. So intermittent fasting helps the body stay well aligned for sleep. Eating during the evening causes the body to be actively engaged in digestion. It can often create a problem with sleeping. So studies show restricting eating to 8 or 12-hour windows helps us maintain a healthy body weight and avoid high blood sugar, insulin resistance, and diabetes, regardless of the nutrient breakdown of the food we eat within those windows. The idea is stopping eating at 6 or 7 and not eating again until 6 or 7. But this is not for everybody. In the next slide, I just want to go over some of the people that may want to be a little more careful about doing intermittent fasting. Okay, so let me just move this over here. You should not do intermittent fasting like this if you are underweight. If you have an eating disorder, if you have anorexia, if you have other issues and you're underweight, I do not suggest this. If you're pregnant, you need the extra nutrients for that child. Breastfeeding, you need extra nutrients. We do not want to see you not having that, your blood sugar dropping, etc. A child under 18, you are still growing. You really need these extra nutrients, and I do not recommend it. You can probably fast, but you may need medical supervision under these conditions. If you have diabetes mellitus, if you have prescription medication, if you have gout or high uric acid, and if you have any serious medical conditions such as liver disease, kidney disease, or heart disease, you might want to check first with your doctor. So here's the thing about intermittent fasting. You're going to get the greatest benefits from fasting if you maintain a healthy diet during the non-fasting time. So when you're up in the daytime, limit sugar and processed food and focus on whole foods, proteins, and healthy fats. These healthy staples will give your body the nutrients it needs and bolster your energy throughout the day. You're going to sleep better at night. So from Michael J. Bruce, PhD, this guy's highly popular online. He is a sleep doctor. He says, a number of my patients also tell me that they've discovered that time-restricted eating and intermittent fasting has helped them become more mindful. Practicing mindfulness can also help you fast more comfortably, get through temporary cravings, and keep a healthy diet on track. Studies show mindfulness can help us make better food choices, and there's a robust body of research that shows mindfulness practices improve sleep. Practicing mindfulness isn't complicated. It's as simple as slow, thoughtful breathing or a simple meditation. Now, most people, when you get into a food coma, that's our joke. Hey, I've been in a food coma. I just ate a whole box of Oreos or something. The whole idea of that is the opposite of this. So mindfulness is, I'm tuned into me. I'm tuned into how I'm feeling. Am I having cravings? What do I feel like? I need to eat this. Eating the bad foods, getting into a food coma is you're not mindful of yourself. You are deliberately choosing to disconnect from yourself and actually do this other thing. So it's a disconnect. Mindfulness is connection. You're staying connected to your body and to yourself. And this in itself is a whole other issue because so many people, we can have compulsions and other issues that we deal with because there's an emotional involvement of maybe a trauma and other things. But I'm just going over basics here so that we can pay attention to this. So this is really exciting. I was actually so looking forward to talking about this on this PowerPoint because this is something that actually has been proven. You can find it online. It's an actual study that was done. I think in 2010 this happened, and I mean, everybody talks about it because it's fantastic. So do you want to lose weight, and can you not lose weight? Are you always struggling to lose weight? Here's something that you can learn. So research published in 2010 in the Annals of Internal Medicine established that sleep and sleep alone is one of the most powerful diet tools ever identified. Now, here we are, we're counting calories and we're doing all these things. How many of us have actually looked at how we sleep? Do you sleep at night? And this is something that's going to play directly into whether you're losing or not losing weight. So this study compared 2 groups of overweight non-smokers on calorie-restricted diets for 2 weeks. One group slept 8.5 hours of sleep per night, and the other slept 5.5 hours. Both ate the same amount of calories, 1,450 a day, And after 14 days, 2 weeks, those who slept more lost more fat than the group who slept less. More than half of the weight loss during the 8.5 hours of sleep was fat loss. Did you get that? Fat. Versus only 1/4 of the weight loss during the 5.5 hours of sleep people. So the ones that slept longer burned fat while they slept. And that's not a typo, you guys. Okay. Surprisingly, the group that slept less also lost more muscle. 60% more muscle was lost when they slept less. Those 3 hours of less sleep caused a shift in their metabolism that made the body want to preserve its fat at the expense of the muscle. Additionally, when the researchers compared circulating blood levels of appetite-regulating hormones in the two groups, those who slept for 3 less hours produced more of this appetite-stimulating hormone called ghrelin. They woke up hungrier. You might have to go back, you guys, and read these again. Go over this because this is pretty substantially amazing, right? So most of us assume that our bodies burn more calories when we're awake longer. You know, we stay up all night, we're burning more calories, right? Not true. The metabolic rate is actually down-regulated with our bodies with less sleep. When you sleep less, your body starts to burn calories at a slower rate to preserve your energy. It's actually thinking it's trying to help you. So in this study, people burned on average 400 more calories by sleeping for 3 more hours. That's an additional 2,800 calories burned in just 1 week. With less sleep, the body seeks to meet the increased metabolic needs of longer waking hours by it shifts. Basically, your body is shifting into a lower gear, so to speak, so it would burn fewer calories and less fat. Bottom line, if you want to burn fat and preserve your muscle and wake up less hungry when you're dieting, sleep more. 8.5 hours sounds good. That's what the study was done on. And, you know, now you're going to go, okay, how can I sleep more? You really need to sleep more, and it's going to change your life. Do you want to lose more fat and optimize your sleep? Okay. Even mild sleep deprivation means losing less fat and losing more lean muscle mass. We just went over that. Sleep deprivation affects your hormones. It makes you more hungry. It actually releases these hunger hormones. Sleeping longer on the weekends might not work to counteract these negatives. So people say that to me all the time. Well, during the week, I don't get sleep, and on the weekends I make up for it. That's not true. What you might want to do is get one of those, watches and things that if you can handle it with the EMFs, but you wear them at night and it actually tells you how deep your sleep is and how deep your REM sleep is. So that's also could be an important thing to add to learning about how you sleep. Okay, so brain function. Sleep is important for various aspects of brain function: cognition, concentration, productivity, and performance. All of these are negatively affected by sleep deprivation. A study was done on medical interns. Interns with extended work hours of more than 24 hours made 36% more serious medical errors than the other interns who received more sleep. Another study found that deficient sleep negatively impacts the brain, similar to alcohol intoxication. Having a good sleep has been shown to improve problem-solving skills and enhance your memory performance in children and adults. I mean, how many times do we say to each other, don't bug me when we're tired, don't bug me, I can't think. This is highly, it works very well, and this is all about sleep. So I gave you this little meme here, how it affects your brain. When you're not sleeping, you have higher levels of anxiety, higher levels of depression, impaired cognition, headaches, and migraines. So this is a big deal. For some people, the sleep loss reduces their ability to interact socially. Several studies confirmed this using emotional facial recognition tests. One study found that people who had poor sleep had a reduced ability to recognize expressions of anger or happiness in others. Researchers believe that poor sleep affects your ability to recognize important social cues and process emotional information. Sleep and athletic performance is huge. Sleep is shown to enhance athletic performance. In a study on basketball players, longer sleep significantly improves speed, accuracy, reaction times, and mental well-being. Deficient sleep has also been associated with poor exercise performance and functional limitation in older women. A study in over 2,800 women found that poor sleep was linked to slower walking, lower grip strength, and greater difficulty performing independent activities. This is a vital, vital issue. So I've got a meme here that you can pause on the video if you'd like to read. Sleep and sports performance. If you are a sport person, this is huge for you. You really need proper sleep in order to be able to operate in your athletic performance. So glucose metabolism is huge. We just sort of slightly covered this when we just talked about intermittent fasting, but in a study in healthy young men, restricting sleep to 4 hours per night for 6 nights in a row caused symptoms of prediabetes. I mean, this is huge. These symptoms resolved after 1 week of increased sleep duration, so flipping it. So poor sleep habits are strongly linked to adverse effects on blood sugar in the general population. Those sleeping less than 6 hours per night have repeatedly been shown to be at an increased risk of type 2 diabetes. Man, that one is huge. Inflammation. Sleep can have a major effect on inflammation in your body. Sleep loss is known to activate undesirable markers of inflammation and cell damage. Poor sleep has been strongly linked to long-term inflammation of the digestive tract and disorders known as inflammatory bowel disease, for instance. One study observed that sleep-deprived people with Crohn's disease were twice as likely to relapse as patients who slept well. So immune function, you would just that last slide, you're going to see this is just an automatic, right? Even a small loss of sleep has been shown to impair immune function. A 2-week study monitored the development of the common cold after giving people nasal drops with the cold virus. They found that those who slept less than 7 hours were almost 3 times more likely to develop a cold than those who slept 8 hours or more. That's amazing. If you often get colds or flus, getting at least 8 hours of sleep a night can be very helpful restoring your body. Sleep and heart disease and stroke. The quality and duration of your sleep can have a major effect on your health. Specifically, health factors believed to drive chronic disease, including heart disease. A review of 15 studies found that people who have poor sleep patterns are at the highest, greater risk of heart disease or stroke than those who sleep 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. That is pretty major right there. So we're going to get into this next subject, and this is going to go into also the final next module, but melatonin, what is it? It's a naturally occurring hormone controlled by light exposure. We actually get it here. Our pineal glands on our temples pick up, and our melatonin production is through these pineal glands, and it's affected by light. So this melatonin helps regulate our sleep and wake cycle. Melatonin production is controlled by light exposure. Your brain should secrete more in the evening when it's dark to make you sleepy, and you make less during the day when it's light out and you want to stay awake and alert. However, many aspects of modern life can disrupt your body's natural production of melatonin, and with it, it's going to affect your sleep-wake cycle. Sorry for my dogs barking. Spending long days in an office away from natural light, for example, impacts your daytime wakefulness and make your brain sleepy. Then when you have bright lights at night, especially from hours spent in front of the TV or a computer, suppresses the body's production of the melatonin and makes it harder to sleep. However, there are ways for you to naturally regulate your sleep and wake cycle, boost your body's production of melatonin, and keep your brain on a really healthy schedule. So what do we want to do? To make that melatonin be higher at night and help you sleep, the first thing is we want to increase our light exposure during the daytime, right? Remove those sunglasses and take that hat off. And the important thing is to let that sun affect the pineal gland and affect your melatonin production. Let light onto your face. Here in Southern California, I think most people are automatically trying to get out of the sun, or they're wearing hats or they're wearing sunglasses all the time. So we want to spend more time outside during these daylight hours. Try to take your work breaks outside in the sunshine. Okay, you guys, I'm going to take a break here. We're going to continue with melatonin, and how to increase your production of it in this final module coming up right now. I'll see you in a minute.